The practicality of the connection with the psychogenealogy is really important. First, we talk about gathering the information. So how we're going to gather the information. I will always recommend people to do to use something that they really feel connected with. You can draw it by hand. You can use apps or you can use websites. Ancestry, for instance, is one of them. You can use Excel sheet. You can use whatever is connected with you, but I always recommend to do it, because just when you have the map there, it's quite amazing how you're gonna build up the map and add more information here and there. So this is really helpful. Connecting with the family members, that will be the first option. Go and ask around data, ask around situations, ask around their own, how they remember things, right? Because maybe the way my father remembers certain things is totally different from my auntie. Even if they have 1 year apart. So this is really important to know about it. Anecdotes, so taking notes of all of those things is super useful. Maybe if I don't have that connection with my relatives, or I couldn't really get that much info with neighbors in other way, we can, as I say, there are websites that can provide us with the information. And if you're really willing to do it, a personal connection with memories, a personal connection with, when we are connected, when we're really connected and when we really want to do it, and I've seen this happening so many times, the info just comes, right, in a form of serendipity, synchronicity. It just happens. Maybe you remember something, maybe someone remembers something. So this is really important, the willingness, the connection, and involve as much as you can your family in this special journey. After doing that, right, how we're going to see and understand the patterns. The first pattern, the really simple thing that we can see is the repetition. So see the repetitions of some data, illness, symptoms, situations that happen, names, studies, job, this type of things. Repetitions can help us a lot to see pretty much that, as I say, that big map, and see those repetitions, and then help us to reflect, right, on myself. Am I repeating that? Is something that resonates with me? This is also really helpful. Ask around if I have the contact and the possibility to ask them about maybe 4 specific topics: money, love, sex, emotions, how they deal with that, how they see that, any issues about money, any issues about talking about sex, or situations that they could remember, or they can bring to this big map. That can be really helpful. And then from that place, you do your self-inquiry. The exercise of self-inquiry is super important to do it from a neutral place. We are not here judging our family. We don't do psychogenealogy to find someone to blame or to find someone that is responsible for something. They as well, they've been victims, right? If I had a bad childhood or problem, it's because my parents didn't know better, because they were probably victims, right? Normally the victim becomes the bully. So this is really important to understand. We are doing this to understand and to heal ourselves. So we need to see the big map from neutrality, compassion towards them, self-compassion, awareness and presence, observing. We need a lot of mindfulness to observe. It's so easy to find people to blame, right? But once I have the info, I can see myself on my daily life, right? Any of those repetitions apply to me. My auntie or my uncle, or they were talking about certain information. Can I see any of these resonating on my daily life, on my work life, on my couple's life? So these are this type of questions that are really good to go inside with the self-inquiry. Understanding, listening to yourself, this is super important. And the third one that is about healing, I guess it's important to connect also with the narrative, the way I'm talking to myself. So the first point of healing is changing, if there is a part of any negative narrative, changing that narrative. Because sometimes in the narrative, right, the way I talk to myself, I'm still carrying those patterns, right? I'm not with the bully anymore. I'm not victim of this anymore, or I'm detached from my family, or I feel that I'm already healed, that this is gone, but then I'm talking to myself that way. So this is super important, being aware of the way I'm talking to myself. And the process of healing is a process that requires time, right? We cannot rush the healing. Healing requires recognizing the emotion. Healing requires integration, and healing requires to be in a place of presence. It's not about, you forgive and forget, because many times we do that and then we go back to the same pattern and keep repeating the pattern. It's as simple as this. If you keep repeating the pattern, it's because there is still work to do. So give yourself time, be compassionate, go and dive into your family tree and find that process of healing in the time whenever you need to find it.